What's up everyone, Sam the Ashen here, and today I'm going to be doing my first playthrough on Project Zomboid. I've noticed this game a few times on Steam, but I never gave it much thought, mainly because of the graphics, but recently I've played a lot of the game Rimworld, and really enjoy that, and that game is not known for its graphics, so I went ahead and gave Project Zomboid a try. It is easily one of the most in-depth RPGs that I've ever played. So this game has a lot of layers, a lot of hidden layers too. And that's one of my favorite parts so far is how deep the game is and how I keep finding new stuff every time that I play. Alright, so let's get into the gameplay. This is my first playthrough, pretty blind. I watched a beginner's guide on it. It was only about 10 minutes, so I still really don't know much about the game. So let's jump in and see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoy. So after I left the spawn house, I just went next door into the nearby houses and snuck in where I could and looted what I can. And I came across a duffel bag to replace the school bag that I found earlier and a baseball bat. I also found a leather duster or leather jacket, which has some decent bite defense. The only problem I'm having so far is that I keep getting overheated, or I keep getting the moist moodle, I guess you call them, but I haven't had any big negative consequences of that so far, so I'm just going to keep running with it. I was a little bit too flustered to remember to record the gameplay of going into the firehouse, but I did go into the firehouse. There was about 7 or 8 zombies on the floor that I was on, so I cleared them out and grabbed some firefighter gear, which was the firefighter jacket, helmet, and pants. And the helmet's got great defense. The pants and jacket do too. So now my character has that equipped, and I am rolling with that armor. I've now cleared out the entire fire station, and I'm in the second floor. Got the little kitchen, a TV, a couple bookcases, some storage in the kitchen. But the problem is, I got scratched or something because I have a laceration on my neck, and man, is it bleeding. I'm trying to keep the bandages clean, so when there's a dirty bandage, I was actually lucky enough to stock up on some medical stuff on my way here. I went through every house and bathroom cabinets and got what I could. Found some stuff in some car glove boxes too. That seems like a decent place to look for medical supplies. Anyways, every time I go to change the dirty bandage, when I take it off, it starts like bleeding profusely. So I lose health really fast. And I read online that I'm supposed to stitch it up, but it definitely seems like I will not have enough time to stitch it up if I take the bandage off to do that. So I'm gonna just try to keep the bandage clean and see if it heals on its own. I guess we'll see if I survive. So I'm kind of just hanging out inside while I wait for the wound to heal. The wound still bleeds horribly anytime I take the bandage off, so I haven't been able to stitch it. I'm just trying to keep it clean. So I'm just trying to catch the shows that are on the TV whenever I can while I'm stuck inside, while I wait for the wound to heal. Alright, I came outside. I'm clearing out some nearby zombies. Keeping my health tab open so I can keep an eye and see if my neck bandage gets dirty or if something happens with that. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it. So I'm right down the road at the construction site, I guess, and I almost get bit again. So yeah, this is looking pretty sketchy. Luckily, I didn't. Maybe it's because of the gear I have on, the firefighter stuff. But yeah, I almost got bit again. There's only a couple zombies. I was just slacking. I don't know what was going on. It's almost 6 o'clock while I was here. I know the show started at 6, so I went ahead and caught some free XP. I went ahead and looted the surrounding area and headed on home. Then I returned back to the construction site to try to get some planks from the huge mountain of logs that I saw in the fenced in area, but they're super duper heavy, so I don't know how I'm going to get a lot. I might just have to make trips back and forth with only a couple. Maybe getting a car would be a good idea, but I am kind of scared to do that right now because I know it makes a lot of noise. So I'm probably just going to carry some back and forth. I would like to start fortifying the fire station, but we'll see how that goes. I had a like pitchfork looking thing earlier. It might have been a garden fork, and it was amazing. it was one-shotting most of the zombies. So I'm going to search through some sheds to look for nails and for maybe another one of those garden fork, pitchfork things, because the garden hose not really doing it for me. I was lucky enough to find some screws in a shed, so that should have us covered. While I was in this house, I decided to go ahead and break some stuff down to try to get my carpentry skill up. I know that I've heard a lot of people say how important the carpentry skill is, so I'm going to do everything I can to get that leveled up while I have some moments to spare. I make it back home and start to put my loot away. It's looking pretty organized, only to find out that I actually need nails to build stuff to fortify the base, like, doors and barricading the windows. Screws won't work. I need nails. So that's a bummer. The police station is right up the street from me. I went there at some point, but didn't really get much. I found a holster in one of the desks, but I know I did not get to the gun area, wherever that is, so I'm going to have to make a trip back there eventually. I tried to take a trip up to the courthouse, but there was a lot of zombies there, so I cleared out what I could, and my character was starting to get tired and it was starting to get late. So I finished off the ones that were chasing me and headed on back home to get some rest and start new the next day. Back up to the courthouse, I went ahead and finished off the rest of the zombies nearby. I never did find that pitchfork garden fork thing that I really wanted, so I'm stuck with the garden hoe for now. It's not too bad, it's got some reach, does the job, but man do I miss that pitchfork. I make my way inside the courthouse, deal with a few jump scares, clear out the zombies that are in there, and I'm not finding anything too good so far, so it's a little bit of a disappointment. Not finding anything worth of note at the courthouse, I decide to go on next door to the police station and see what I can do there. While I'm at it, I check the cars nearby to see if I can get inside and check the glove box. I make my way inside the police station. There's some more zombies that showed up, so I go ahead and finish them off and double check the desk to make sure I didn't miss anything. There were some locked doors that I remembered from before, so I decided to go ahead and see what I could do to get through these, and I figured out that I could dismantle them with a hammer and a saw maybe? Whatever it was, I had both of them with me, and it didn't take very long, so I just dismantled the doors to get behind it and see what I could find. Unfortunately for me, there was nothing in here except for a security terminal and a zombie, so it was a no-win. Finally, I find my way to the other side where I had forgotten about one of the locked doors that I couldn't get through. I dismantle it, and lo and behold, it is the gun locker room. I find a shells bandolier, which lets me reload faster, a couple shotguns, a few magazines, an M9 pistol, which I've read online is really good. I haven't even shot a gun yet, aside from the tutorial, but when I do, I've read that the M9 is the way to go. So there we go. Got the M9, a couple magazines, a couple boxes of ammo for the M9 and for the shotgun, a sling for the shotgun, and a couple other miscellaneous stuff, but a really good amount of ammo and a couple good guns. I grabbed what I could, made my way back home, and put everything up, washed off my clothes, and decided to go back and go ahead and clean out the place and move it all back here, just in case I needed the extra guns. I outfitted myself with the holster, loaded up the magazine for the M9, went ahead and had two of them handy, put that box of ammo and the extra magazine in my tight little fanny pack, put the gun in my holster, and went out to see if I could score some more supplies. While I was out, I decided to catch one of the shows on Life and Living while I could. Upon returning, I had a good amount of supplies, finally found some nails, and grabbed a little tote bag to carry some of my stuff in because I was running really low on encumbrance. And my neck wound has started to heal a lot more, I think. The bandage stopped getting dirty, but I haven't taken it off yet. I'm kind of scared to. But I've noticed that if I get too overloaded, I think it hurts my injury and my health starts to drop. Either way, made it home safe with some good supplies. I went southwest to see what I could find. Looking at the map, I saw that there was a lake somewhere in that direction, so I was hoping to find that. Instead, I came upon a farm with pretty much nothing in the house, but a solid amount of zombies. Went ahead and went back home, put up all my stuff, went to bed for the night. Then, woke up just in time to be able to read some books before I could catch the morning shows. I went out to explore a little bit and happened upon some tree branches, and I was able to turn those into some crafted spears. And to my surprise, they did a lot of damage to the zombies. Sometimes my character would do like a jab animation and one-shot the zombie. But what I didn't know at the time is that they don't have a lot of durability, so it broke pretty quickly. So now I'm out clearing out some zombies to the south of the fire station with just a ball pen hammer. It's definitely not the worst weapon, but, it doesn't really compare to a long reach, higher damage weapon like the spear. So, in groups of 1 or 2, I usually try to rely on knocking them down and doing a little stomp stomp. I decided to go on a little foraging run to try to find some more tree branches to make crafted spears out of because I really like them. And apparently, with the better your skill gets, the more durability they have. I forget which skill that is exactly, either carpentry or spears or something. Either way, I heard that the durability gets better with your skill, so I'm going to work on that. And I kind of got sidetracked on foraging and wandered very far away, very, very far, for me at least, and I might be in a little bit of trouble. Unfortunately, I see the little wet moodle, as they're called, getting more and more red, saying I have a higher chance of catching a cold. I have the outdoorsman perk, so I'm not sure if that still applies, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that it does just to be safe. So I'm going to work my way around, kind of like a loop, back to the city to try to get indoors and get dried off so my character can get a little rest before heading back to the fire station. I have not even came close to down this far, so none of the zombies are cleared out. And I have been scratched or hurt or something, and there's quite a few zombies. Luckily, I brought some medical supplies with me, but not nearly as much as I probably should have. So, we'll see where it goes. Luckily, I made it back to Rosewood and got inside a house, cleared it out, closed up all the blinds, dried myself off, ate some food, and kind of hunkered down for the night. As I'm making my way back to my base, I run into quite a few zombies. Luckily for me, I had a spear plus 1 or 2 more made in my backpack just for backup. So as long as I kind of kite them and try to get them picked off in small groups, I should be alright. I've been crouching a lot while I wander around, so I guess my nimble and light-footed skill has been going continuously up. So it makes it a little bit easier to get those small groups attracted as opposed to all of them, I guess. Alright, so I get the rest cleared out. I'm gonna head back to the firehouse. Maybe if I see a house on the way that looks pretty juicy, I might check it out. It got really late before I made it back to the fire station, so I decided to go ahead and sleep for the night and watch some TV in the morning to get my free XP. Finally, I make it back to the firehouse. My wounds are pretty much healed, or at least in a safe state. So, I can go ahead and put up my stuff, organize it a little bit, get the heavy load Moodle out of here. Now that I've got some downtime, I'm going to mess around with fortifying the base a little bit. I finally got some nails, got my carpentry skill to level 3, so I should be able to do the most of the necessity things. So we'll see how it goes. Alright everyone, that's as far as I've gotten so far. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it. I know it might not be super entertaining to watch a first timer playthrough, maybe not as action-packed or streamlined, but nevertheless I had a lot of fun making it. If you guys did enjoy the video, liking or commenting really helps me out a lot. If you want to see more from me, subscribing to the channel is free, obviously, and it helps me out a lot too. Check back next week if you want to. I'm going to have part 2 on here. No matter where our character ends up, I will have it posted. Thank you so much for watching. Really glad to have you here. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Hope you guys come back next week to see what happens, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.